A drought is an event of prolonged shortages in the water supply. Whether atmospheric, surface water or groundwater, a drought can last for months or years, or may be declared after as few as 15 days. It can have a substantial impact on the ecosystem and agriculture of the affected region and harm to the local economy. Annual dry seasons in the tropics significantly increase the chances of a drought developing and subsequent bushfires. Periods of heat can significantly worsen drought conditions by heightening evaporation of water vapor. Drought is a recurring feature of the climate in most parts of the world. However, these regular droughts have become more extreme and more unpredictable due to climate change. In fact, studies based on dendrochronology, or tree rings dating, confirm that drought affected by global warming goes back to 1900. Many plant species, such as those in the family Cactaceae, have drought tolerance adaptations like reduced leaf area and waxy cuticles to enhance their ability to tolerate drought. Some others survive dry periods as buried seeds. Semi-permanent drought produces arid biomes such as deserts and grasslands. Prolonged droughts have caused mass migrations and humanitarian crises. Most arid ecosystems have inherently low productivity. The most prolonged drought ever in the world in recorded history occurred in the Atacama Desert in Chile. Throughout history, humans have usually viewed droughts as disasters due to the impact on food availability and the rest of society. Humans have often tried to explain droughts as either a natural disaster caused by humans or the result of supernatural forces. It is among the earliest documented climatic events present in the Epic of Gilgamesh and tied to the biblical story of Joseph's arrival in and the later exodus from ancient Egypt. Hunter-gatherer migrations in 9500 BC Chile have been linked to the phenomenon, as has the exodus of early humans out of Africa and into the rest of the world around 135,000 years ago. Rituals exist to prevent or avert drought. Rainmaking could go from dances to scapegoating to human sacrifices. Nowadays, those ancient practices are for the most part relegated to folklore and replaced by more rational water management. People tend to define droughts in three main ways. As a drought persists, the conditions surrounding it gradually worsen and its impact on the local population gradually increases. Mechanisms of producing precipitation include convective, stratiform, and orographic rainfall. Convective processes involve strong vertical motions that can cause the overturning of the atmosphere in that location within an hour and cause heavy precipitation, while stratiform processes involve weaker upward motions and less intense precipitation over a longer duration. Precipitation can be divided into three categories, based on whether it falls as liquid water that freezes on contact with the surface, or ice. Droughts occur mainly in areas where normal levels of rainfall are, in themselves, low. If these factors do not support precipitation volumes sufficiently to reach the surface over a sufficient time, the result is a drought. Drought can be triggered by a high level of reflected sunlight and above average prevalence of high pressure systems, winds carrying continental, rather than oceanic air masses, and ridges of high pressure areas aloft can prevent or restrict the developing of thunderstorm activity or rainfall over one certain region. Once a region is within drought, feedback mechanisms such as local arid air, hot conditions which can promote warm core ridging, and minimal evapotranspiration can worsen drought conditions. Within the tropics, distinct, wet and dry seasons emerge due to the movement of the intertropical convergence zone or monsoon trough. The dry season greatly increases drought occurrence, and is characterized by its low humidity, with watering holes and rivers drying up. Because of the lack of these watering holes, many grazing animals are forced to migrate due to the lack of water in search of more fertile lands. Examples of such animals are zebras, elephants, and wildebeest because of the lack of water in the plants. Bushfires are common, since water vapor becomes more energetic with increasing temperature. More water vapor is required to increase relative humidity values to 100% at higher temperatures. Periods of warmth quicken the pace of fruit and vegetable production. increase evaporation and transpiration from plants, and worsen drought conditions. Drier and hotter weather occurs in parts of the Amazon River Basin, Colombia, and Central America during El Niño events. Winters during the El Niño are warmer and drier than average conditions in the Northwest, Northern Midwest, and Northern Mideast United States, so those regions experience reduced snowfalls. Conditions are also drier than normal from December to February in South Central Africa, mainly in Zambia,